Well, let me tell you a lesson that I learned that cost me $4,500 out of my pocket.
Oh gosh, 4,500.
So you don't do the bucket method, Phil?
Nope.
Thank you.
Nope. It's antiquated.
Thank you.
And, or it's just personal choice.
Yep.
Some guys still do it, but found out a long time ago that some detailers like to make rules, and it boxes people into following those rules or else, and that's not a good habit to get into.
It's like we were saying earlier about the compounds and the polishes and the clay bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I used to follow all those rules until I found out when I started doing things my own way that a lot of those rules were just what it was, just kind of empty, arbitrary rules. It was actually people's personal choices that they were pushing as only way to do it or the best way to do it, when it wasn't. It was just their way to do it. That's all.
Yeah.
And they had great success with it, which is nice, but yeah, when people start pushing it as a...
Like you got to do it this way.
Like
and
if
this
you
is
don't
what you
do it
gotta
this
follow.
way, then you're wrong.
Yep.
That's when you start running into problems. Yeah.
No, I get you. I see all these, it's like I tell you, I know you get all these great products, but it's because you do a lot and you got a lot of people that want you to test out their products.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I rather not spend money on stuff that I know I probably can't afford down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
And what I know works for me, my customers love it.
Yep.
And hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. If it works for you, then you don't have to worry about, is it the right way that everybody else is doing? Because it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing.
So my wife's gonna say, what did you do when you were in Richmond? I was washing a car with Phil, his personal car.
Yep. Yeah, and another cool thing is, with good shampoos, with good quality shampoos, this is the next level auto shampoo. But with any good quality shampoos, some people are afraid of letting it dry on the panel.
Yeah.
With cheap shampoos, you might have some issues of it drying on the panel and maybe staining. But with good quality shampoos that have good ingredients, they're formulated correctly.
Gotcha.
You can actually allow them to, you can have them dry in the paint. It's not the end of the world. And it's better to have it dry on the paint than just regular water dry in the paint.
What about a dark car?
Same thing.
Same deal, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about it too much because if you're using a good shampoo, it's going to have water softeners in it. It's going to have all those good things in it.
Okay.
And it's not going to create a lot of water spotting or issues on the paint. Even if it dries a little bit, it's okay.
Gotcha.
It's better to have the shampoo dry in the vehicle than just pure water alone. All right, tops are done, bottoms are done.
Do you prefer the AR blue over the Krensla?
I've never had a Krensla.
You're kidding. I know when Tony showed me how to cut it back 3 feet so I wouldn't jump anymore off my generator.
Oh yeah.
Man, that made all the difference in the world.
Yep.
Okay, so what are we doing next besides this?
That's pretty much it. Just wheels will be the last thing. Then we'll start drying it and we'll be good to go. And might put a spray wax on it. Welcome to another weekend wash. So I have a friend with me, Mario Garcia, from where?
Tucson, Arizona.
So he's visiting us and we're doing a weekend wash on our own vehicle. He is a fellow detailer. So what I want to ask him is what got him into detailing and where he is today, basically.
The way it all started, I used to work at a lot. These guys are going around in these vans, Phil, and they pressure wash all these cars, and you're basically what they call a lumper or like a grunt type deal, but you shamming down cars, and that's all you do all day, and it was like a 10-hour job straight, and it was brutal work. It was brutal work. And at one point, where I used to work where in Tucson, Arizona, the boss was real harsh with the employees. And then one day I just decided, hey, you know what, this isn't right, the way you're treating your employees and so forth. And make a long story short, he told me, who are you to tell me how to run my business? And you know what, you're turning your chamois, which I laughed, and he said, you're fired.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? I just decided to do this on my own. I lugged everything around on a bike, Windex, car wash soap, a bucket, a 1.5 shop vac, went into the bank and opened an account and talked to them, how do I get a business license going? And then I started, and back then in 2008, the economy was real bad in Tucson. I started washing cars for $5, and gradually it started picking up with clientele and then just word of mouth. And now I've established a business, which actually I've gone through 3 vans. And as of course, you know Tony Raldo from Raldo's Details, a good friend, and I'm visiting him too.
Yeah.
He's helped me out a lot tremendously with my business, and with a lot of feedback and stuff from you and your guys' support, I've been able to bring my business up to the level. Well, that's why I'm visiting here you guys now, to take it to the next level when it comes to ceramics and other stuff that I haven't graduated to.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's really good to hear that story too. A lot of guys out there who are stuck in these jobs that they don't like, they don't want. Some of them can break free from it and start their own businesses. A lot have done that.
Absolutely.
Tony did that. He used to be an electrician working for a big company, making a lot of money, and he didn't like the hours. They were sending him places weeks away from his family. That's not good. So he broke away from it, started his own detailing business, and look where he is now within just a few short years. Good success stories. Not everybody's story is going to be like that. Some struggle a little bit more. Took us many, many, many years to get to our point where we are now, but it can be done. So it's nice to hear stories like that.
Thank you. You don't necessarily have to go buy a high-end van and deck it out with diamond plate and stuff. All that is not necessary. You know what to do, your skill, start off there and gradually progress.
Exactly.
And that's how it works too. But marketing is the way to go to also. Because if you don't have customers and you don't have, okay, well, who's this guy?
Right, that's very important.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, if anything, marketing is the more important part.
You guys don't use gloves, do you, Phil?
Not a lot. No, I only use gloves now for coatings.
Okay. Yeah, I wear gloves all the time, man.
Yeah, I can't. When my hand starts sweating, it gives me contact dermatitis, and then I'm suffering with that for like 6 months.
With a rash or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hands like break out. They'll become red and irritated. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to wear gloves in the summer like that, and then my hands started really getting messed up, and I'm like, what is it? And I thought it was the chemical, so I just continued to wear gloves.
Yeah.
Found out it was the gloves. So I just rinse my hands and wash my hands a lot.
Gotcha. But do you ever get any of the friends that ask for your services?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
No, the reason I bring it up is because I know sometimes it's not good to do business.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like minimize my prices.
Thank you.
Because it's not fair to us. If they want it done, I'm like, hey, I can do this. If they're like, oh, that's too expensive, then I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'll give them other options. Honestly, a lot of friends just want exterior done, which is a lot easier to do. So I'll offer something that's easy enough that I can do on the exterior. That's not going to, you know,
hurt their pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
You know those Hyundai Accord vans, the big ones? They sit.
Oh, the Odysseys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that thing was really thrash, and I gave him a price, and he goes, do you plan on making it new? In other words, he was already telling me, why so much?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's going to take me this many hours. And then I gave him a breakdown of the prices, and I guess he didn't like the price. So I said, okay, well, you know, I'm sorry. You landscape and you charge what you charge. And
exactly.
Nobody questions your prices.
Yep.
And he's real good. He's always backed up with work, though.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I thought I'd ask, Phil.
Yeah, no, I mean, that happens. I've had some people that, yeah, they won't use us because it's too expensive for them. But, you know, even customers, I still have customers that will, people that will call, I shouldn't call them customers. They're potential customers.
Yes.
Because they're just people calling to get prices.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just to get prices. And, you know, I tell them our prices and they're like, whoa, it's way too much. I'm like, no problem. It's not too much. It's just that you either don't see the value in it or you don't want to spend that much on it, which is fine. Like everybody's got their price point.
Yeah, they got their budget they got to work with.
But exactly. But it's like if you know that budget, you can't call something too expensive because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but you got to think of the performance. Like what does a wash cost out here to service a car in Richmond? Because I'll tell you a story how it differentiates from Tucson to Phoenix.
Yeah. I mean, the car washes here are pretty They're pretty cheap. I mean, they can range from...
No, but I'm talking like about a mobile detailer.
Oh, yeah.
You. What were you charging for a wash?
I mean, when we first started, $25.
Wow.
And that was not just a wash. That was a wash and vacuum.
Oh, my goodness.
That became very extensive. Like, we were doing way too much.
Oh, yeah.
Way too much.
Okay.
And people were still really not that happy with it.
Oh, man.
So, but that was the wrong clientele.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like, those people, we don't see anymore. Like, we don't deal with them anymore because they won't even come close. That, we weed them out with our phone call.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh no, we don't wash cars. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean? You're a detailer. I'm like, no. We don't wash cars. If you want to wash a car wash, you go to a car wash. If you want to detail, that's extensive. That's completely different.
We have the consulate from Puerto Rico. Lady, a lot of money.
Yeah.
She had so many square footage, but they had to get rid of the business. She drives this black BMW, real nice car, but she upgraded now because I don't know what's going on. But anyways, Mario, how much to wash my car? I told her $65. What? I go, first of all, you got a black vehicle. I'm providing a service where I'm coming to you. Known the lady for years.
Yep.
And like in our case, her being from, where is she from? The Dominican. And she talks very highly, helping out the culture, like they say, the cultura and black, blah, blah, blah. But real cheap when it comes to paint. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't offer you a service at, if you're thinking $35 or whatever. Back in the days, maybe then, yeah.
Yeah.
But
price of gas, price of product, price of taxes, all that stuff. Like, we are not a fly-by-night business. We were paying taxes and, paying insurance, all of that stuff from the beginning. And other guys can do it cheaper because they're not paying taxes. They don't have insurance. They don't report anything. They're not paying taxes. So do you want someone who's running a business like that? Or do you want someone who's running a business honestly?
Never thought about that because there's a guy, he's been in the business since '86, Coronado Auto Shine. And I'm not going to say he's a competitor.
Yeah.
But he's seen the way I started off with my old Dodge and a tank and a pressure washer tank. And I used to unload everything.
Yep.
And the last time he's saying my setup or my rig, he goes, you got a better van than I do now. And I'm like, no, it's your business is good. I mean, don't knock yourself out. I mean, don't compare it to mine. But he just doesn't upgrade on things that I've done. Like right now, Phil, I don't use a gas generator like I used to in my Predator. Now I run a Opus Mega 3. I do everything electrical.
That's nice.
I'm thinking of putting a solar panel up on top. No more oil changes, no more gas, especially the fumes in the vehicle.
Oh, exactly.
That was killing me, man.
Yep.
And I talked to my wife about it, and I told her, you know what? I really need to change this up.
Yeah. No, wait.
Oh,
don't use it on door jams.
No door jams?
No.
Okay.
Never use an exterior towel on door jams.
Okay. I always use a black towel or something different.
Yeah, I'll use definitely something different. Yeah.
Well, let me see what you use.
Yep.
That's where all the grime and the dirt.
Exactly. I'm like, no, I keep my drying towels completely separate.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But you can use this on the inside, on the jams, because it'll protect them. It'll make them cleaner longer. But yeah, it's not too bad in there. So just a little bit of drying, and we're good to go.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up.
Yep. Yeah, I went through a lot of drying towels like that. I used to use them for the door jams. And I'm like, oh man, like now I just ruined this towel. So I learned a long time ago, I'm like, no, I'm going to keep my drying towels separate and only do the exterior. And I even have drying towels that are like for nasty vehicles and drying towels that are for nicer vehicles.
I'm laughing because you know what I did when I first started? I was wet behind the ears. I used to wash all my towels together. Rims.
Oh, yeah.
Every wash, drain the car. And then I go do a black vehicle and I'm like, why is it so blotted and stained? Because it was the towels.
Yep.
So that was an $80 lesson I learned real quick.
Yeah. Sometimes it is good to learn the lesson yourself because you have proof.
Yeah.
You have your own self-proof that you're like, I did this, I made a mistake, and now I fixed it, but I learned from it. So it's good. There's a lot of things that I learned that way. Yeah, I remember ceramic coating a black vehicle, and I used a panel wipe on it and marred it all up. And I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know And that's when I started thinking, like, there's got to be a way. There's got to be something that's a primer that I don't have to do a panel wipe. I finally, I stumbled across CarPro Essence, and I used that. I used Geon Prime primer, and that was good. But those you got to wait like 24 hours before you can coat it, because the polish itself has to cure, and then you can coat over it.
Well, let me tell you a lesson that I learned that cost me $4,500 out of my pocket.
Oh gosh, $4,500.
I did a car with a product, and I didn't prep the car right, and I ruined the whole paint.
What?
I had to take it to the paint shop. Luckily, the guy understood, a good customer. They painted it over him, and then I polished it out and sealed it for him.
Wow.
He was very understanding. It took him almost 3 months to get that car fixed.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a painful lesson.
$4,500 it cost me. And I wasn't running my thing with insurance because that was the first time I tried it, but
yeah,
that's what you get for not properly prepping a car.
True.
And that was a very expensive lesson for me. It just happened like 6-8 months ago.
Yikes.
Yeah, and that's why when Tony offered, and you guys showing me about ceramic coating, I said, well, now's my time to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
See what they got to offer. Yeah, it was, oh man, and I had to tell my wife. But there was two things about it. It was positive in one way and negative in one way. Positive, I was able to deduct it off our taxes because I don't know what you guys pay for taxes for your business, Phil, but man, Arizona, whew.
Yeah, we pay a lot.
I'm just going to say, sometimes I wonder if it's even necessary being in the business. Taxes are terrible right now.
Taxes, they suck. It sucks a lot out of your business, but we still make more money than we've ever made. Even with paying taxes, we've made more money than we've ever made. Well,
we all know where it comes from,
Yeah. The taxes are an unfortunate, antiquated system that we have to deal with, but still, I'd rather own my own business than work for anybody making half of what we make now.
I was telling Tony that I don't work past 11 o'clock. If I do a car, it's early morning, 1 or 2, that's it. And I got the whole rest of the day for myself. But then we got to go to work in the evening. But it's that gap, that flexibility that I have right there.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the benefit of it. We've worked now to the point where, we're working 3 to 4 days a week, and we're making more money than we made 10 years ago, or ever in our lives.
Yes.
Yeah, those I don't worry about. I still get calls to this day where people think we're too expensive. I'm like, then why are you still on the phone with me? Like, don't, have a great day. Like, do your you're not going to get it any cheaper. It's like when I do my research, if I'm going to buy something, I do all the research I can to find out what the prices are, why they're that expensive, so I understand. And then I'm in a better position to make a decision.
You're very thorough.
You're
very thorough.
And the people who come to you that want cheap stuff, they're not thorough. They have no idea what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I don't want to deal with those people anyway because, sad to say, I don't want to call them stupid people, but that's kind of what they are, is kind of ignorant people that they're not thorough, they didn't do the research, they just kind of make snap decisions. And I don't want those types of people in my life, period. Whether it's a customer, friend, or family, like I stay away. I separate myself from those types of people.
My wife and
her
family, I did her car for her nephew one time, and we wound up getting into a blowout. I go, you know what? Here's your money.
Yep.
Don't call me ever back again. Walk away.
Yep. Take it as a loss and walk away. But at least now your conscience feels better, and you're like, I'm done with that. Like, you learn from that. Yeah. But that also comes with age. A lot of this younger generation, they don't get that yet. But
one of the things that I've seen from the younger generations on that note, Phil, they just want to go over in there and just boom, 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 and get out of there, and then they miss the whole car. And I'm like, I've seen when some detailers go and do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, really? You paid that much for this? And I'm just like, I don't make them feel bad any more worse than they are, but like, wow. I go, well, you get what you pay for.
They have some hard lessons to learn. They do, and the people who who hired them will have some hard lessons to learn.
And then another lady, well, if you do this, I got all these friends. I go, well, you know what, ma'am? Next time we do your car, I'll do a free wax for you. We'll wash it and we'll wax it for free. Never heard from her again. But we did it was just an interior on the Lexus.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, discounts do not work.
No. I don't think so.
There's a difference between giving a discount and then adding something of value to a service.
Yes.
Like what you just mentioned, like giving a free wax or a free upgrade. because you're already dealing with the customer, you're already there. Switching out from one product to another or adding something that's going to literally take 5 to 10 minutes of your time that you can, kind of sacrifice, but it's not really that much of a sacrifice, that's worth it to both you and the customer, because it feels like, they are getting something for free, but it's not killing you. It's not giving you not giving them a discount where you're losing money now, and that's not good.
So here's the thing. One of the things that I've done, and I've discussed this with my wife, I'd rather pay a full price that I know what it's worth and lose a customer than have them, me reduce the quality of my work with not reduce, excuse me, poor choice of words, reduce my pay.
Yeah.
And then having the customer not call me back because it happens.
Then you lost money.
You lost money
you just
regardless.
Simply lost money.
Yeah. So there's no point in that.
Exactly.
So I've learned that lesson one time and one time only, and I don't, no.
Yeah, no discounts.
No.
Nope. If they want a certain price point, and it's a good way of negotiating the prices, if they have a certain price in mind, if they want a full detail, but they don't want to pay $300 to $350 or more, then I would ask them, okay, what is your price that you're looking for? And if they're like $200, I'm like, okay, this is what I can do for $200.
Yes, that's what.
So you're going to take stuff away. So no full detail, no full interior detail, no full detail period. I can do a really good quality wash, clay bar, and a 6-month or maybe even a 1-year sealant.
Okay. Wow. For $200.
For two, but it's just exterior.
Exterior only, yes.
Because my wife and I can do an exterior like that in an hour.
Wow. That's nice.
Because that's our skill level. That's our speed. That's our skill level. Yeah. That I can do. Because I'm not sacrificing any more time. I'm not losing money because I'm not doing anything extra.
Yeah.
and actually that's my current price for any exterior wash, clay, and seal anyway.
Wow.
So I didn't change anything. I just offered her something that she didn't know we had.
On that note, Phil, like for some cars or some customers in Tucson, for them, but it all depends what type of customer or where you are in the market.
Yeah.
There's some guys that are high end, but they don't want to pay.
Right.
They want everything, don't get me wrong. Arizona's great, Tucson's great, people are great, but it fluctuates because people think that they should get this for this, and that's where you got to be selective in your customers. I had a guy in a Bentley pull up.
Yep.
He goes, you know what type of engine is in this vehicle? It was like one of those suburban type, like those Dodge Durangos.
Yeah.
I go, well, this is what I start off at, 350 and up, sir. And he knows the owner where we work at our establishment. Mm-hmm. He goes, well, I know such and such. I go, well, I know him too. But that doesn't mean anything.
Like, what does that mean to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, why undercut the little guys like us?
Yeah.
We're the little guys who pay the most in taxes. And they do so much of the grunt work.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately, like, that's what happens in this society, is the type of work that one does, that's how people view you. So if you're just washing a car or detailing a car, you're viewed as very low on the food chain.
So to speak.
And that's, yeah.
And on that note, it's funny you say that. That's how they say the people, they keep their money in their pocket.
Yeah.
That's how they stay rich.
Yeah.
Because they pay whatever, and and the sad reality of that is there is people that do that. Yeah. They work for that. They will work because they need work.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not any different in Richmond, but I said,
we see it here. We see it here as well.
Like I had mentioned earlier, I know in Phoenix for a fact, I've talked to 3 detailers on 3 different occasions. There's a company called Streamline. Know the owner, Diego. He just opened up. They're fabricating over their vans and transits or whatever you go in there. And I talked to 3 detailers. A vehicle decides just for a wash and exterior starts off at $100. Mm-hmm. Nothing fancy, nothing clay, nothing. $100.
Yep.
My washes start anywhere from a mid-sized car, maybe from $50 on up too. Mm-hmm. And that's about all they get.
Yeah.
So it all depends what the customer wants, and I've never done a list. I don't like them. Mm-hmm. It's good to have, don't get me wrong, because people they're like a la carte. They have their options.
Yeah, I never like a la carte services.
Yeah, and I just look, this is what I charge, this is what I do. My vehicles, I go in there with the steamer.
Yep.
I mean, you can go in there, but if you really want it clean down to the nooks and crannies, I see you got your VX 1000. That's what I use. And that thing is awesome.
Yeah.
That thing is awesome, and that's the way I like to do business. So for me, it's like 200 plus. Well, actually, it's 300 plus. What I start off
for full details. Yep.
$350.
Yep. That's our prices too.
Yeah.
Between $300 to $350 for full details.
With the engine too?
The engine is completely something that I have now written in as an opt-in or opt-out because the engine literally takes me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because
but it's an extra charge?
No.
No? Okay.
No. It's either included or not, but it's an opt-in service. I usually don't do it unless the customer wants me to do it specifically.
Okay.
Only because there's too much liability with it.
Okay.
And if I do the engine, I only say it's just the top surfaces. I do not go deep into the engine compartments at all because it's just way too risky.
Have you ever went underneath like with the pressure washer?
Nope, I don't do that at all.